This is Quays News. I'm Ola Holmes.
And I'm New Folks. And today's programme.
Do you have your bag for life? From next Friday, single-use plastic bags will increase to 10 pence. We'll be exploring why.
Dogs are a man's best friend, but theft rates are on the rise. We'll be speaking to a victim.
And this week marks Public Garden Week. We will be exploring this in the programme. Welcome to today's programme. A 13-year-old girl in Salford has been sexually assaulted and robbed on her way to school. The incident took place in Peel Park at 8:15 yesterday morning. Police are now calling for anybody with information to contact them.
The Mayor of Greater Manchester has asked the government for everybody over the age of 16 in the region to be vaccinated. Andy Burnham's plea comes as cases in Bolton are the second highest in the country. The spike is thought to be because of the spread of the Indian variant.
Now we've all been there. You've got to the till after doing a food shop and you've left your bags at home. Do you try and carry it all, or do you just purchase a single-use plastic bag? Well, from next week the price of carriers will be increasing, Isaac Shelton reports.
6 years on from the introduction of the plastic bag levy and headlines like these, and things are set to change once more. From next Friday, single-use bags will double to a cost of 10 pence. And this time around, smaller retailers such as convenience stores will also have to start charging.
In being a brilliant material, plastic was designed not to decompose, and yet we're making single-use items out of it. So that's the mistake that we've made. You know, do you really want to use a plastic bag if it's going to get into the ocean and poison the food chain? Or do you actually want to think about it and take your own?
Since the introduction of the charge in 2015, it looks like people have taken their own, with sales in supermarkets reduced by 95%. Only 26% of shoppers say they purchase bag from the till, but the age group who are most likely to buy one, well, that's 18 to 34-year-olds. Many shops already offer these so-called bags for life. They're stronger and a little bit more expensive, but the environmental benefit isn't all it seems. And because they're thicker, they need more raw materials to produce, which therefore leads to an increase in carbon dioxide. So to truly reap the environmental benefit, you have to use them at least 10 times. Some stores are going further than the 10p charge. John Lewis's Oxford store is already plastic bag free after an initial trial, with the scheme extending to other stores in the coming weeks, while the Co-op plan to remove their plastic bags for life when stocks run out. But the damage could already be done. Is it possible that humans could actually be consuming some of these plastics and microplastics that find their way into the ocean?
Yes, I'm sure we are consuming plastic all of the time, because once it gets smaller than microplastics, it becomes nanoplastics, and it's even in the air that we're breathing, and it's in the rain.
It's hoped the 10p charge will continue to drive down the use of plastic bags. So next time you head to the shops, remember to take a reusable one with you.
So preparing for further protests from Manchester United fans at Old Trafford ahead of tonight's rescheduled match against Liverpool. They will hope to prevent a repeat of the chaos caused last week that resulted in the original fixture being called off.
Absolutely ridiculous. They are asking to cause trouble. The fans want to protest, right? You cannot set foot in that stadium with a Glazer banner. They will throw you out, they will eject you. So we come down and then we try and protest all the time, and every time all we get is heavy-handed policing, being shoved from pillar to post, and the fans are sick of it. They've had enough. They have had enough of the Glazers, they've had enough of being treated like dirt by the FA, by everybody like that. We've tried to get them to listen and they just will not listen. And it's about time somebody started, because this is what the result is going to be. And it's going to carry on until somebody starts talking to us properly.
What do you think is going to happen later today then, with if this is going to be a protest or if the police are going to get involved? What do you think it's going to be like later?
There's going to be a protest. Now, they're either going to let us protest and do it peacefully, or the police are going to go in heavy-handed and try and stop us, and then you're just going to end up with trouble. Yeah. All the fans want to do is be heard. And the FA, the Premier League, football club, nobody will listen. Yeah. And the fans have just had enough now.
Now, social media posts of stolen dogs are becoming a common sight on our news feeds. With dog theft rates increasing, I went to find out more. Come on then. Dogs, a man's best friend, but an increasing number of us are falling victims to dog theft.
Obviously, they got into my car and done it, and unkicked Blue. Blue's in his seatbelt in the back of the car, like, and somebody's actually reached into my car.
During the pandemic, dog theft levels rose 19%, but there is still uncertainty as to why.
Years ago, we used to think, could it be for baiting? Could it be for breeding? Could it be for reselling, for ransom? And just the thought of not knowing, and I think that's what's worse when you get stolen, is the not knowing.
There are a small minority of cases that have turned violent, with reports of people being held at knife point and others attacked. Some communities are now encouraging dog owners to walk in groups.
Social media is a really good way of finding things, and it has increased people, the amount of animals that do get returned than previously, but still nowhere near have found and reunited that, the amount that should be.
My girlfriend put it on Facebook, Instagram, and obviously within an hour or two, there's already thousands of shares, and obviously a lot of people had seen it and shared it and they'd passed it on. And I think by the time we got Blue back, there was 20,000 shares on it.
There are calls for tougher punishments for pet thieves.
Does get caught for pet theft, the sentence is only the same as if you lost your mobile phone or your mobile phone got stolen. And we've campaigned for a long time for theft of an animal, to be seen as more than that.
Not everyone is as lucky, but some do have a happy ending.
Blue's just happy to be home now.
New folks, Quays News.
Oh, I love their little doggy videos. During the pandemic, much of the nation started to realise just how important gardens were. Our reporter Josh Wall went to a public garden in South Manchester to hear just how much the public appreciate these garden spaces.
This week saw the start of National Public Gardens Week. The event was created in 2009 to help publicise the importance of sustainable, accessible and environmentally responsible gardens. Fletcher Moss Public Gardens have all these attributes in abundance, so I decided to visit myself.
Being someone who's grown up in rural Herefordshire, I understand the importance of green spaces, but I want to know what it means to people in Greater Manchester.
I love green spaces, and they're really, really important. I've got a garden which I love, and I've got an allotment which I try to get to as much as possible. And I think it's really, really important for your mental health to be out in the fresh air and just to see the beauty of creation around us.
I think green spaces are really important for families, especially to get out and just breathe the air. That's something I've been saying to my children quite a lot recently, is we need real air. So every day, especially during lockdown, we've gone outside and we've just enjoyed nature.
Manchester. I think it's really important, and I think Manchester's invested quite heavily in public gardens, and I think people have really come to appreciate them over the last year, for obvious reasons.
Because the people who need to come out into the gardens probably haven't got gardens of their own and can't afford an entry fee. That's why they haven't got a garden of their own.
Some people haven't got a garden, or they're not able physically to garden their own gardens, and especially just during the last pandemic, it's been one place that people can go out and have a change of scene.
Even though Public Garden Week is only just over a decade old, it's easy to see that our love for gardens is evergreen.
Now, Orla, did you know it was World Cocktail Day today?
I actually didn't. What's your favourite cocktail?
Margarita. What is your favourite? Actually, I don't even need to ask what your favourite cocktail is.
You know that my favourite cocktail is espresso martini. Well, in light of the World Cocktail Day, we have a special weather forecast which is cocktail related.
Harrison, bottoms up.
You better shut your cocktails if you're sitting outside a bar today, as showers will begin to develop for some. If only it was purple rain. This evening showers will clear away and there will be dry martini spells for the night. And in the morning at 5:10 there will be a tequila sunrise. Cheers to you in the studio.
Cheers, Harrison.
If I were you, I'd check that weather forecast out.
And that's all we have time for today. Goodbye.
Bye.